What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated welterweight British superstar title contender, Conor Benn, the son of a legend, Nigel Benn, 23 wins, no loss and no draw, 14 wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach at 27 years of age. Conor Benn is a hot, sought-out commodity over the past week. Surprisingly, he just popped up and became everybody's target, right? And now Conor Benn suddenly became the focal point for a fight with undefeated 3-division, 5-time world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely acknowledged and recognized as one of the faces, if not the face of the sport of boxing, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is 29 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout. He is 29 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Now, Conor Benn put out a list of opponents that he wanted to fight. After his fight this past Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he beat Pete Dobson, right? And Conor Benn put out a list of opponents after that fight. And at number one was Devin the Dream Haney, the biggest rival and nemesis to Gervonta Tank Davis. Devin Haney is 31 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. Devin Haney is 2-division champion, undisputed lightweight champion, now the reigning WBC junior welterweight champion. That was at number one. Then he had his biggest rival, that being Conor Benn's biggest rival. Now, Devin Haney is Gervonta Tank Davis's biggest nemesis and rival. But Conor Benn's biggest rival and nemesis is another son of a legend, a family rivalry. His father's rival, which is Chris Eubanks Sr., is Nigel Benn's rival. So their fathers are rivals. And Chris Eubanks Jr. in the UK makes for a massive rivalry fight that he was already scheduled to face off against Chris Eubanks Jr., and he tested positive for a banned substance and was suspended in the UK, okay? And can't fight in the UK currently as it stands. So he had Chris Eubanks at number 2. Then at number 3, he had former unified 3-belt IBF, WBA, WBC welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the True Spence Jr. Because Errol Spence tweeted out about Conor Benn and Conor Benn's performance and the timing and the lack of attention that it garnered against Pete Dobson. And then at number 4, he had another rivalry, hometown rival, and Special K, Kell Brook. And at number 5, he had Mario Barrios, Mexican welterweight star boxer, who is the WBC interim champion and on the verge of being the WBC regular champion, or super champion at welterweight. So he had Mario Barrios at number 5. And then suddenly, Gervonta Tank Davis, or was it? Was it suddenly? Gervonta Tank Davis threw his hat in the ring and said, I want to fight you. Then they started going back and forth, jawing back and forth. And quickly, they came to an agreement to fight one another. Now, is it quickly? Because, see, keep in mind, we've heard the rumblings that Gervonta Tank Davis' next fight could be in the UK. Now, here's the tricky part, is that Conor Benn is suspended in the UK, but he has a hearing coming up in 2 weeks to be reinstated. Gervonta Tank Davis will be the fight to reinstate him. Now, when this news broke that Gervonta Tank Davis' next fight will be in the UK, in the United Kingdom, you had boxing platforms and boxing news that reported and said Gervonta Tank Davis ain't going to the UK for his next fight. His next fight will be in June in the summertime in Las Vegas. Gervonta Tank Davis responded to those posts, and he said, how you know that? Who told you that? The thing is, y'all need to be focused on just the news and stop trying to be predictable and stop trying to predict. If I'm not fighting in the UK, where I'm fighting at then, since you know everything, right? Which gave the indication that there's truth to him fighting in the UK. Now, again, Conor Benn tested positive for a banned substance, right? Conor Benn, right, is a big deal in the UK. Gervonta Tank Davis is a big deal in boxing. So Conor Benn will be cleared by the British Board of Boxing, okay, in 2 weeks. He's already, according to Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, already passed one part. Now he has one other part to be cleared on, and he could fight back in home. And Conor Benn called it his, he's been on his American tour. That's not by choice. That's by force, because he can't fight in the UK. But now if they present to the UK that they have a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, a massive fight that will bring in massive amount of money and revenue to the UK, they're going to give Conor Benn his license back. Because first of all, it's not just a domestic fight, right? When it's Chris Eubanks and Chris Eubanks is taking a stand and his father's taking a stand, that's a different story. They're a big deal in the UK. So they don't want to upset the Eubankses. But now, when you have an American that's a massive deal coming over to the UK, now it's something to think about. So did this come out of nowhere? I don't believe so. I believe that they had an idea, an inkling that this could be a possibility. And it's not a coincidence that Gervonta Tank Davis started throwing his hat in the ring to fight Conor Benn, and Conor Benn accepted, and then all of a sudden Gervonta Tank Davis is having conversations with Eddie Hearn, not directing him to Al Heyman, maybe because he already directed him to Al Heyman. Maybe they already knew this was in the works. Maybe Al Heyman's already aware. Hence the reason why Gervonta Tank Davis is not saying, call Al. Because they probably already had a deal or something in place. Just my thoughts. Right? No inside scoop or nothing. Just my thoughts. And it would be a big deal whether he fights in the UK or whether he fights in the United States. This fight is going to be a big deal either which way. I don't have a problem with Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Conor Benn at all. I just have a problem with the labels that was placed on Devin Haney. Why Gervonta Tank Davis couldn't fight Devin Haney directly contradicts everything about fighting Conor Benn. That's my only issue. Now Conor Benn is saying that if he don't fight Gervonta Tank Davis, he's willing to fight 4-division world champion, superstar boxer, close friend of Gervonta Tank Davis, in Adrian the Problem Broner, right? Who is 35 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 24 big wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'6" with a 69-inch arm reach. And he released the conversations that he and Adrian Broner has had behind the scenes, and he said that let's make the fight happen to Adrian Broner, right? So he's willing to fight Adrian Broner, which is a very good fight for Conor Benn, and that's a very good fight for Adrian Broner as well. And he says, you know, he tells Adrian Broner, you had your opportunity. I offered you an opportunity, in their tweets, in their messages. And Adrian Broner said, let's make the fight happen. And he says, let's do it. Let's make it happen. But obviously his number one goal for Conor Benn is to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. I'm just curious as to when did Conor Benn become this hot, sought-out commodity in the sport of boxing that everybody suddenly wants to fight? Do they feel like it's easy pickings? Because the fight I wanted to see Conor Benn in, actually, is a fight with himself and undefeated, newly crowned IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, the Phenom, as I refer to him as, in Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis is 31 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. That's the fight. And Jaron Ennis officially has an IBF title. So it's a title shot for Conor Benn, and it's a big deal, and it just makes sense. Neither fighter are too big in the States where negotiations and you want this and I want that. That shouldn't stand in the way. It should be an easy fight to be made. And it's a massive test for both guys. That's the fight I like. I'm not appalled to the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, though. This came out of nowhere, or did it? So let's see how this all unfolds. I like Adrian Broner getting his opportunity on the big stage, and that's a big name, marquee name for Conor Benn as well. All these fights make sense for Conor Benn, and all these fights make sense for all the fighters that are being mentioned, period. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.